Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Lamenters. We are picking up where we left off. The party, on horseback, in hot pursuit, heading out of the south gate of Lee Town, in the hopes that you could get ahead of the boat that left some minutes ago, and try to catch up to Karamina Nicolo and Katerina DeWitt. So, you guys are riding, and remember, it is night, so it's dark. What is your strategy? Like, what are you aiming to do, or where are you trying to get to in order to head them off, or to catch up to them?
Well, I want to ride up next to Bane, and as we're going, I'm going to say, Hans and Sarah will probably try to stop us, probably at the bridge. So we better prepare for that.
Understood. Do we know the layout of kind of like the surrounding area, like where we're trying to go? If there's any crossing points between here and there, if there are any villages, cities, have we passed this area before?
Yes. So you've ridden up through this area. There's a stretch that goes from Lee Castle down to Angner, and you have ridden across that road, and it basically just follows the route along the Nargan River.
And it's only just the one route between where we are and where we're going. There's not alternate routes that we're aware of.
Well, you could, to the west of this road, since you're on the west bank of the river, is forest. That would not be a faster way. There are paths through the forest, but it wouldn't be the most direct way if you were going south. The road south leading to Angner will cross a small creek, which is the bridge that you guys encountered, where there was like literally teenage boys guarding it. But there is a larger bridge that spans a narrow part of the Nargan River, and it's the only bridge north of the lake. So you saw that, but you never crossed over it, and it goes to the east bank of the river, to where a lot of the timber and like lumber operations are. So that bridge is a tall, like arched, proper stone bridge with big enough spans that allow boats to pass underneath it. That is about 20 miles south of where you are. You can ride at a gallop for a fair amount of time before your horses become exhausted, but you can't ride at a gallop for 20 miles. So I guess the question is, are you trying to gallop for as far as you can in the hopes of maybe catching up and seeing their boat on the river? Or
yeah, I'd like to get a visual of them with the direction they're headed. Maybe gallop as far as we can, and then when we're resting the horses, we'll devise a plan of approaching the bridge or whatever we're coming upon, that so that we won't just walk up and hey guys, we're here,
Okay.
I'd really like to get ahead of the boat somehow, and then wait for the boat, because if we get ahead of the boat, then the boat from the city can come up behind them, and
I only imagine
it would be extremely lucky for that to happen, but that would be the best case.
Maybe do that is to cross through the forest, through the country, to cut across the lane, so that we're not going the direct route, and that could be perilous. I don't know if that's a great idea.
Well,
yeah.
So you
can jump on the ship.
The Nargan River basically flows south, right? It cuts southeast and basically turns into the lake before continuing further south. The first big town that you would hit would be Angner, but that's like I said, that's quite a ride. So if your intent is to keep the river in your sight, then the North Road is the only option. You would have to travel along there to keep the river in your sight. So here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have each one of you make a roll under, not for yourselves, but for your horses. And the degrees of success will determine whether or not your horses can maintain a gallop. So go ahead and make a roll under and tell me what you have.
That's a 20-sided?
Yeah, I'm going to roll for Oldrad and Claude. All right, Oldrad got a 12. Claude got a 10. And Leonard's horse got a 16. Quack, quack.
I got a 6.
Okay.
8.
8.
I got a 2.
Ooh.
10.
Okay. So basically, everyone's horses can ride at a full gallop for the first 5 miles, except for Leonard. Leonard shouts out to you, "Keep going. I'll catch up when I can." So you guys ride. After 5 miles, your horses are near exhaustion. But you see, by the light of the moon, you don't see any lanterns or torches, but you see a longboat heading south down the river. Its sails are catching the wind properly.
Any insignia on the sails? Or...
So I want you to imagine this boat is probably 150 feet away from you, and all you have is moonlight.
Is it just like an open boat, something like from the history, like Vikings had, or something more?
Yeah, it's
modern?
a single mast. It's a single mast, like longboat, sailing boat. The kind of boat that could probably accommodate 20 people. But it is moving down the river. You don't hear, people talking. You hear the creak of the boat. You hear the wind catching the sails. But again, it's like 150 feet away from you in kind of like the middle of the river.
So if I were to wrap a piece of cloth around the end of an arrow and put some oil in it and light it on fire, would I be able to hit the sail?
You could try.
That would take a long time.
Question.
Anybody with a longbow could make that shot. Anybody with a short bow could try to make that shot, but at a significant penalty.
We need to make sure we know who it is before we just start blowing up ships.
I don't care.
I will also say this. You guys have not seen a single other boat on the river during your entire ride. Not a fishing boat, not a canoe, not a rowboat. This is the only boat that you have seen.
Okay,
so an educated guess would lead us to believe that this could be the boat we're searching for.
However, it could also be a decoy.
Right.
Yeah, we can still try.
I start preparing.
As we're galloping.
Father, I'm very skilled with a longbow.
Okay, Bivoj, what were you going to say?
Okay, as we're galloping, I'm preparing my longbow and.
Okay, so you're going to prepare
somewhat quietly, as possible, like maybe light shouting.
So let me explain this. If you guys decide that you want to shoot arrows or flaming arrows of any kind, you will not be able to gallop. So you're going to slow your horse down to a trot while you're trying to do this. And then when you're ready to shoot, you'd probably stop your horse and make your shot.
No problem. I think that
the speed of the river.
I think that the outcome will be the same.
The river doesn't move super fast, but their sail has wind, so they're moving at about the same. They're moving at slightly less than you were at a gallop, but faster than a trot. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you could gallop ahead a little bit and then prep your bows and make your shots.
Is the ship under control, or does it have significant yaw and?
I'll let you make a wisdom roll under. Anybody, go ahead. Go ahead and make a wisdom roll under. See.
Yeah, that's something I'm really good at.
I rolled a natural 1.
Yeah.
18.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I did it.
Bivoj, you rolled a natural 1. Sarah, what did you roll?
3.
Okay, so Sarah, you see movement on the deck. You see clearly somebody is manning the helm. You see somebody just silhouettes. That's all you see. You see at least 4 people kind of working the rigging and the sails. That's about what you guys who made your checks can see. So it looks like there's a crew. You can't really make out other identifiable shapes, but you can estimate that there's at least a crew of 5 or 6 people that you see moving around on the deck and working the boat.
I'll let everyone know.
As we're slowing down, I somewhat quietly shout to Liber, "Hey, Dad, sorry. I maybe broke a few of my ribs. If it comes to the melee, I need your help." And I prepare my bow. As I see the silhouettes, I don't care. I just prepare, aim, and shoot.
Okay, are you trying to shoot a crew member, or are you shooting a flaming arrow at the sail or at the boat?
If I knew, well, I was a hunter, so if I knew that I have enough time to prepare, I would prepare the flaming arrow.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would shoot blindly.
When I notice 2 of my crew members getting ready to attack this vessel that we're not sure what it is yet, I'm gonna gallop up ahead and try to get in front of the boat.
I want to do the same.
All right, so I'm assuming that all of you gallop up ahead in order to get in front of the boat.
Yep.
And then you ready your flaming arrows to fire, right?
Yep.
So let's do short bow first. So short bow, your attack roll is going to be at a -4.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Who's got a short bow?
Liber has a short bow.
Oh, man. Bless it, Father. You better bless that bow.
I got a 6.
Okay. Then let's do Sarah. You're also doing a flaming arrow?
No, I'm not doing a flaming arrow. I want to hold my action until Bivoj goes.
Okay, Bivoj, you're up next. You are not at a penalty because you have a longbow.
And can I add for the aiming?
Yes. So because you rode up ahead and prepared, you can take a moment, stop down your horse, aim, and fire.
Oh, well, I'll send you a screenshot. I hope it's there. It's nat 20.
Nice. Well done. All right. So, Bivoj, were you specifically aiming to have your flaming arrow hit the sail?
Yes. I want to see who's on the deck, so
Okay.
if this helps, whatever.
All right. At the angle, you fire this expertly aimed shot. Your arrow hits the sail, piercing it and sticking into it, and you see the spread of the flaming oil from that arrow kind of spread across the sail, and the sail very quickly starts to ignite. You guys hear some panic, and you hear some shouts. Fire, fire, grab the buckets! From kind of far away. Sarah, you held your action. What are you doing now?
Okay, I've been tracking the shadows. So, can I see anybody now?
You see about 6 people on the deck running around furiously, and you see another person at the helm. They all look like crew members.
Okay, I'm aiming for the person at the helm.
Okay.
My
You have a longbow, so go ahead and roll. No penalty.
No penalty? Okay. That's a +7. 16.
Okay, that's a hit.
Okay, and now
roll that
Jamal.
damage.
Okay, I gotta see what my plus is. So it's 3 damage.
Okay.
I think that's it, yeah.
Let's see. Heath, do me a favor. Roll a
Yo.
d6. 1, 2, 3 is left. 4, 5, 6 is right.
2.
Okay. Sarah, your arrow hits the helmsman, and you see his silhouette kind of like fall. And as he falls, you guys see the boat start to actually steer away from you. Remember, it's heading south, so it steers to the left, which would be west, and it's steering away from you.
How wide is the river?
At this point, it's about 350 feet wide.
What's the distance of a longbow? With, say, a rope attached to it?
I would have to look that up. I'm gonna guess.
Long distance is 900. Medium range is 600.
Yeah, but that
And
doesn't
we'd have to
count-
add
that
weight,
doesn't-
so probably
yeah.
half of that.
Yeah.
So, because when they're putting lamp oil on their arrows and whatnot, I'm tying my rope to my arrow, to the tail of my arrow for my longbow, and I want to hit the bow of the boat and try to get the boat to slow down. I'm not trying to actually stop it.
Okay, one moment. You have 50 feet of rope. The boat was already 150 feet away.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Not a bad plan.
The rope goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, blunk right in the water. Well, there's my wisdom at play, right? Or my intelligence, one of the two.
I'm gonna make a roll also for Oldrad
Oh, how?
for his longbow. Okay, so that is he has a terrible dexterity. That's a -2. That's a miss. So another flaming arrow fires, but it doesn't hit the sail. The crew seems to be in a panic, and the boat has just started to shift left. Next round.
I didn't have an action in that round.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are you doing?
I'd like to, since I can't rope these fools, I want to shoot a flaming arrow at them too.
All right. Do you have a short bow or a long bow?
Long.
Okay, go ahead and roll. No penalty.
25.
Yes, that is a hit. Going for the sail, it hits another point in the sail, and more flames just start to just rise up. The sail is pretty.
Is the mast
pretty
on
fiery.
fire yet?
No. I mean, we're gonna say this is one round, so
okay.
All this is happening quickly. You see the crew start to yell out and scramble. Fire! Get some buckets, and that's kind of their round. All right, so back to the top of the order. Liber.
I don't think I have any shot of hitting this boat myself. So I'm going to prepare another flaming arrow. So to give Sarah maybe time to aim.
Okay, so that's your round, preparing another flaming arrow. All right, Bivoj.
I'll try to just shoot somebody. On
Okay,
the ship.
that's fine. Go ahead and make a roll, straight roll, shooting one of the crew members. You have a little more light now that 2 flaming arrows have lit up the sail, so you guys can kind of see.
Yeah, but I
light.
think it's still the penalty for the range.
It's at I mean, it hasn't moved that fast, so I'll say it's at 160 feet.
Yeah, so it's still -2. 15.
Okay, that's a hit. Roll damage.
Ooh, nice. D6. 6.
Okay. You see your arrow plants itself in one of the crew members, and he falls. You just see him drop. Sarah, your turn.
How far ahead is the bridge which ships can go under?
Like 15 miles.
Okay, I'm gonna hold my action.
Okay, Bane.
Until I see passengers or captain come up.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know who the captain is, so I'll wait for one of the passengers, one of the girls, or Hans and Anna. They happen to be there.
All right, Bane.
As an actual butcher, and not just using the moniker because I like to kill people, I am familiar with fishing. And
yes.
Because I'm familiar with fishing, I know that I want to aim for where they're headed, not where they are. So, with that being said, I'm looking to see if there's any obvious places that the boat could turn to or run to hide or gain advantage from covering or anything like that before I make my shot.
Here's
or
what
is it just they're just sitting ducks? They could just be sitting ducks, and that's fine too.
You feel that as a fisherman as well as a butcher, that if a fish wants to get away from you, it swims away from you. And right now the boat is heading away from you. However, you don't see anybody at the helm because that person was shot with an arrow. So the boat is indeed heading away from you.
Okay.
And at a certain point, you guys will probably be out of what I'd call realistic range, right? So you feel like you have, in game terms, maybe a couple more rounds before you guys are reasonably, out of range.
Okay, I'd like to shoot a flaming arrow at the tail of the ship so that we can always see the light of the flame.
Okay, that's going to take your round to prep the flaming arrow. So
since Sarah didn't take my arrow, can I hand it to Bane?
Yeah, I'll say that.
Sweet.
All right, so Liber hands you a flaming arrow.
Father.
You can make the shot.
That is a 26.
Okay. Oh. You hit your mark. The back of the boat just tagged it in the ass, and it's got a little burning arrow action going.
It's like putting a tracker on the ship. Woo!
Yeah, basically. All right, Sarah, you don't see any of the people. Do you want to just give up your round, or are you going to use your round for something else? You don't see any of the people that you identified as holding your action for. Bear in mind,
I'll
it's, 10, 12 seconds. So
yeah, no, I want to get someone really important. I got the most important person on the ship, so it's getting farther away. I have to see where it goes before I decide where to go next. These guys are taking care of things pretty well. I want a precision shot.
All right, so you're just gonna kind of keep your aim. All right.
It doesn't hurt to just shoot an arrow.
No, I don't want to waste them.
Okay, so they for their round, you see crew members scrambling around. You see some buckets of water being tossed at the flaming sail, and one of them successfully, one of them not so successfully. Some of the flame is doused. Top of the order, Liber.
Okay. How far are we from the closest bridge?
15 miles to the big bridge that spans the river.
And the small one's further.
No, the small one's like 5 miles away. But that bridge doesn't cross the big river. It crosses like a little creek. Okay. Like there's a tributary that feeds into the big river. The bridge, that's the bridge that you guys crossed on your way up. But the big bridge is like 15 miles to the south. And you can't gallop that far. Like your horses will die. You can mix it up. I mean, you could trot and then ride and then trot and kind of try to make it. But right now the boat is heading towards the west bank of the river.
I'm thinking maybe we should head back and see. This should slow them down. Hopefully they have to stop on the other side of the river. Maybe we should head back to Lee Castle and see if we can get onto a boat. They should be preparing when we're ready.
If we let them out of our sight, we might not find them again. Is my only concern.
True.
Well, I drop my concentration on the boat and I start looking around.
Okay.
We have to be wary of ambush, and I'm looking around as best I can.
Roll a d20.
D20. Here we go. 11.
You don't hear or see any threats in the area. The sound of crickets and some nocturnal animals kind of off the road to the west, closer to the tree line.
Should I start up a torch?
So just to be clear, this conversation that you're having, no one's shooting any more arrows? No one's prepping any flaming arrows?
I just want to shoot bastards.
Okay, all right, Bivoj, roll.
That's not enough. That's just 8.
Okay, you fire an arrow. Anybody else this round firing an arrow?
I'm gonna prep an arrow.
All right.
Do we know the depth of the river at all?
You don't exactly know. I mean, it's a fairly sizable river, and it gets wider the further you go south, because there's more tributaries kind of feeding into it.
My thought is, and the reason I ask that is because as the boat is veering away from us and trying to avoid us, is there any chance of any shallow rock areas that they could get caught up on?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like if that size boat were to go right up to the shore, it would hit shallows.
Let's keep firing at it and force its hand to the shore.
Okay.
I mean, see, I'd like to fire at it again.
Go ahead.
Damn, 26 again.
Okay. Roll damage.
2.
All right. You hit, but don't kill another crew member. Last calls for Sarah or Liber.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and...
I hand her my flaming arrow.
Okay.
Give me a chance to aim.
You hand her a flaming arrow. Okay.
You can hit a person too if you want with it.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna try to hit the mast.
Okay, go ahead.
It's either a natural 1 or a natural 20.
20.
Okay. Roll your regular damage and add a d6. This is for the flame spread.
Oh my god. Okay, so the regular damage is 6.
Okay.
Flame spread is 4.
Okay. Your arrow pins part of the now burning sail to the mast, and the mast and the sail are ignited. They now are furiously running around, although with 3 fewer people, trying to throw water buckets up. That is a fail. So you see now with even more flickering light that there are other crew members on the ship trying to throw buckets of water on the burning sail and mast. You also see 4 people emerge from just under the decking where the helm was.
There they are.
Top of the order, Liber.
I'm gonna take a Hail Mary shot at anyone I can, at the first person I can.
Okay.
Here we got 7.
7 to hit is a miss. Bivoj. I think you're muted.
I'm trying to shoot among the people that emerged. And it will be 18.
That's a hit. Roll a d4.
Oh. 4.
Okay. Now roll your damage.
3.
Okay. You see one of the silhouettes like get hit by your arrow and kind of like spin back. Sarah.
Okay, I am going to look at these 4 emerging, try to decide which one is the tallest one.
Okay. Is that who
I
you're
see her. I see her.
You see two relatively tall people, one of whom just got hit by an arrow, and 2 people who are shorter than those 2 tall people.
Okay, I want to hit the one that just got hit.
Okay.
No, I want to hit the other one.
All right.
15?
Yes. Roll damage.
Oh my god. Okay, so that is a 3.
Okay. That one also gets hit and kind of spins. Bane.
Is the longboat large enough to have a visible rudder? A directional rudder on the tail of the ship.
Yeah, but you can't really see it. Even with your flaming arrow on the back, it's not illuminating enough to see it.
Then I will. I'll
Get
put
the
a
skiff,
blindfold
get the
on and just
skiff.
go do 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 do. What shall I hit? I will shoot another. I'll just shoot a regular arrow at one of the 2 of the shorter bodies.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Since the tall ones are getting taken out, that would be a 19.
That's a hit. Roll a d6.
5.
Okay. And then roll damage.
2.
Okay. You see one of the people also take an arrow and kind of like stumble back a little bit.
I want to ground them. I don't want to kill them until we have a chance to confront them.
None of them seem dead. All right. Crew with buckets. Fail. 1 success. Some of the flames on the sail have been doused a little bit. Top of the order, Liber.
I'm still at a -4 to hit, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna try again.
All right.
10.
I forgot to roll for Oldrad. Give me a second. All right, that's a hit. I'm going to roll a d10 to randomize who he shot. Okay, it's one of the crew for 5 damage. All right, one more of the crew. Okay, Bivoj. The ship is still moving west, away from you guys.
Yep.
You are now at everybody with a longbow is at a -2.
Then it's 20, not natural.
That is a hit. Are you aiming for anybody in particular, crew, or any of the 4 who just came up from below?
Any of those 4 that came.
Roll a d4.
Hey, Bill, when you say
Okay.
-2, is it -2 off of our +7 with the longbow, or is it -2 total?
No, -2 off of your +7.
Okay, thank you.
That's 3.
Okay, and then roll damage.
4.
Okay, so you're trading. So now you just hit the one that Sarah hit. All right, Sarah, it's your turn.
I'm gonna use my powers of observation right now. I'm not gonna loose an arrow right now. Is there a skiff hanging on the side? Let me see.
You don't
That's
see one on your side.
yeah, that's the port side.
Correct. You don't see
So there
one.
wouldn't be a skiff there, but it's on the other side. Dang it. They're gonna be able to get it. They're gonna be able to get away in the skiff because it's probably on the on the other side.
Okay. So firing an arrow or not?
No, I'm trying to figure out how to get to the other side.
Okay. Bane, it's your turn.
Well, shoot him if you got him. Oh, that's gonna be a miss, I'm pretty sure. 9.
That's a miss. Oldrad fires another shot and will hit. Number 3. Oh, this guy could be for 5. Okay, you see Bivoj's arrow shoots into this guy, and then Oldrad's arrow shoots into this guy, and now this guy drops. Next round, the crew is 1 fewer, so they're trying desperately and gathering water to the buckets. Top of the order, Liber.
So I'm gonna look around, and I don't really see a good shot. So I'm gonna take my holy symbol, and I'm going to start a prayer and ask the one true God to guide us and to give us some luck in trying to catch this boat.
Oh, indeed.
I hear the prayers, and I say, why don't you ask your God to shipwreck this boat?
All right. You begin those prayers. Bivoj.
I'm shooting the rest of the 3.
Okay. Go ahead and make a roll.
That's with -2. That's 15.
That's a hit. Roll a, let's see. Roll a d6 to determine which of the 3 you hit.
That's 4.
Okay. Jeez. All right. Now roll damage.
4 damage.
Ooh. Okay. So now we are on to Sarah.
Okay, I'm gonna take out one of the crewmen. Might as well just do this. No, it's a 2.
Okay. Bane.
I too will aim for a crewman.
Okay.
That is a 17.
Hit. Roll damage.
6.
Dropped. Oldrad fires 20 something. 20, I don't know. For 4 damage. Another crewman is wounded. That means that only one of them can try to throw a bucket of water this round and fail. Okay, top of the order, Liber. The boat
I'm
is
still going
west. You don't see anybody at the helm. It is chaos on board as the flames rise up the sail and the mast.
I'm still praying. I'm saying, if it's your will, then shipwreck this boat, or just get us a way to find out what's going on over there, to guide us, give us wisdom, help us.
Okay, now roll percentile.
Sorry, I didn't have my percentile on that. 100.
You roll a 100.
I rolled a.
Make a wisdom roll. Roll under.
Okay. 15 out of 18. 15.
Not only do you feel like your prayers are not going to be answered, but you feel like there's something definitely wrong with your request, and that you almost feel like maybe you have angered the one true God. You're not sure why.
All right, meta moment. So, this is just my brain and how it works. So maybe they are advocates for the one true God, and your prayers are going against what they're trying to accomplish because it's God-based, like one true God-based thing that they're trying to do.
Yeah, sounds
so,
like it.
Instead of destroying these guys, we need to get a hold of them. We need to know what's happening. Any bright ideas?
While you're
Swimming.
thinking about that, it's Bivoj's turn.
I'm trying to shoot another one of those that are the
Okay.
main villains, let's say.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Roll your attack.
That's not 20.
All right. So before you roll damage, roll a d6 to determine which of the three you hit.
3.
Oh, no. All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
3 on the dice.
Okay. So on a d6, right?
Yes.
So that is 9 damage.
Yes.
And she already took damage. So you see your arrow strike to the chest of this person, and they drop.
He said she. Who are we killing? Which primary character that we need are we killing?
Anna. Oh, we don't know.
Now it is Sarah's turn.
Okay. I don't know this area very well, but there's got to be a way to the other side.
Yes, there is. It's a bridge that's 15 miles south.
Or swimming.
Yeah, or you could swim.
Okay.
The river, like I said, the river doesn't move at like a rapids current. So it is swimmable, but you'd have to abandon your horse and like any heavy armor that you have.
Bane, I'm moving ahead to the bridge and trying to get to the other side. Can you guys hold this where it is?
It's no one's holding anything. The ship's moving away from you and further down.
Yeah.
The river.
Yeah.
Let's all head to the bridge.
We need to get ahead of it. Now that it's
Crippled.
we should try to get in front of it.
Okay. Bane, are you taking any shots at the crew or any of the principal people before you guys start riding?
No. I think that we've sent our message.
Oldrad rolls a nat 20.
Jeez.
Somebody
Nice.
who is gonna die.
Who's he killing? Who's he killing?
He hits a crew member in the skull and immediately drops him.
No more crew.
They
as
can't
you guys
pilot a vessel without a crew.
Yes, as you also they don't have a sail. As you guys are riding now, right? You see like you start to gallop and you are heading south towards that bridge. You see like the ship going away from you. It's still veering towards the west bank. The mast, the sails on fire. The ship's almost just drifting now at this point. You guys ride at a gallop until the ship is well behind you, until it just looks like a candle in the distance. And then your horses, after a few miles, you have to slow down. Is it your intent to ride all the way to the Nargan Bridge?
Is there a narrow point in the river before the bridge?
No. The bridge spans the narrowest point in the river prior to where the river opens up into the lake next to Angner. So you may remember that when you guys got to Angner, there, it's kind of on a lake. This bridge is where that's the span. It's the narrowest span, and it's a very old stone.
What's the distance across?
Bridge. It's like 300 feet.
Okay.
So they're huge, huge like stone support columns that are kind of built on, I don't want to say islands, but like that are anchored in. And then these, this span of a bridge that goes across it.
The pillars that run down from the bridge into the earth or into the water, into however the beams are set up. What's the distance between the beams on the bridge?
In the shallows, they're like
where the boat would pass through.
Oh, that's in the center. So the widest span is like 40 feet.
Oh, good enough.
You can't steer the boat, so who knows where it's gonna go.
Right. It's probably not gonna make it, but if it does, if they do find a way to ride it, I want to use my little wimpy 50-pound rope or 50-foot rope and tie it between the two beams so it can act as a kind of a net to stop them if they actually get to that point.
Okay. So you guys ride at a decent trot and occasionally at a gallop, and you ride for a while, right? So you eventually get to, it's the middle of the night, you get to the bridge. The small there's like a small cottage on land, just 50 feet away from the bridge, and then like a guard shack that's all the lights are out. Like it's the middle of the night. You don't see anybody guarding the bridge as you're approaching.
Is that unusual?
Just by moonlight, basically, you see these two buildings, the cottage and then the small guard shack, and then you see the bridge and you can hear the water. As you look back over your shoulder, back up towards the north, you don't see the boat. Like you're well ahead of it. Oh, I'll say that since you guys slowed down, like eventually Leonard caught up to you. So what do you want to do now?
I want to work my way up the west bank and see if they're shipwrecked on the bank.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that
Oldrad suggests that maybe he, Claude, and Leonard stay at the bridge, and like that you guys, if the rest of you cross to go upriver on the other side, that he will blow his signal whistle if he sees the boat approaching. Actually, he wouldn't have. He'd have a war horn. He has a war horn. Like a Viking, you know what I mean? Like, so that's Oldrad suggests that be the move. Now the question is do you want to try to like wake up the gatekeeper, like to let them know about this, or are you guys trying to be silent as you approach the bridge? Like, what's your move? So you're like 50 feet away from the cottage and from the bridge.
Have one of those three do it.
Have one of which three? Do what?
The three that are staying.
Oh, kind of make contact with the security detail and let them know what we're up to.
Okay. All right. So Claude dismounts from his horse. He takes Critter off of the horse, and Oldrad dismounts, Leonard dismounts, and they are walking up towards the cottage. Make a roll here. Nope.
Should we just keep going?
You guys are on horse still, so you are you continuing past the cottage towards the bridge?
Yeah.
Unless someone stops me.
Okay. Everybody make a D20 roll. Just tell me what you rolled.
2.
16.
4.
Yeah, 16 as well.
I see. All right, Bane,
Not sure
roll
what to-
D6.
5.
All right, Bane. As you guys are riding towards the bridge, as I said, the cottage is dark. The guard shack's dark. The moonlight is like shimmering on the water overhead, and you see some silhouette of movement creeping out from just behind the guard shack. And the silhouette looks like somebody with a bow, and it looks like they're coming around to aim it and shoot at you. But you win this surprise moment.
So
You are 20 feet away.
and can I tell by looking at this person if it's friend or foe, if
No.
it's
Nope. You literally see like moon shadow. Like that's it. Like it's
okay.
you don't see the person, you just see like a silhouette.
So
kind
I'll
of
call out.
emerging.
I'll call out to him. You there? If you value your life, I would watch your hand.
Do you stop or are you still riding forward?
I'm
You guys hear Bane, who's at the front, like say this. He calls out to the darkness.
I'm gonna stop and use my warhorse kind of as a shielded area between me and the thing that I see.
What's your armor class?
Oh shit. Come to me, Bane. AC. Where is it on this sheet?
Oh, 20. Good lord.
20. Yeah.
All right. You see the silhouette fire their arrow at you. It whizzes past you. And then you hear another voice call out from the other side, next to where the bridge like basically anchors to land, is one of the support columns, and it seems to come from that side. And this voice says, "Y'all better take your weapons off and drop them if you value your crappy lives." And it's a
These
familiar,
fuckers again.
it's a familiar, gruff,
Yeah.
feminine voice.
We're here on the orders of the Lord Lee.
Can I see the one closest enough to me to make an informed shot?
You could try. You're at
I'm
a
gonna take
minus
out.
two.
I'll take out the one that's closest to me, the 20-foot away one, and take a shot with my longbow.
Okay, you're at a -2.
24.
Roll damage.
4.
Oof. You hear like a distinctly male ouch sound
Do you want to play this game again?
as he whizzes
Hans
back.
and Franz. Or wait, which one's
Sarah.
still alive?
Hans is the one that's still alive, to your knowledge.
Okay. Hans,
Right.
is that you?
Liber, it's your turn.
All right, so as I heard Bane shouting, I dismounted and I was reaching for my bow, and if I look over towards the person by the bridge,
Yes.
do I see anyone?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna
And she also
there.
has a bow.
all right, I'm gonna take a shot at her. Let's see what 10.
She's got just enough cover. Your arrow like clinks off of the big old stone support that she's taking cover behind. Sarah, your turn.
I'm going to dismount off my horse, using the horse as cover. And, geez, I want to.
Bivoj's on deck.
Yeah, I'm considering. I know where she is. I want to get in around that shack.
Well, she's not. She's on the other side. She's by the
Yeah.
bottom of the bridge, the shack.
But I want to get around
So as you're looking at
the side where
the
Hans
mouth-
is.
Right. As you're looking at the mouth of the bridge, imagine that there's a shack on the right side and then
Okay.
a support column on the left. She's by the column, and who you presume is Hans is on the right by the shack.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Do we know if these, I'm just going to call them the hillbillies because they're funny to me. Do we know if these hillbillies are affiliated with whomever the guards are that would be guarding this bridge? because they seem to be everywhere that we think we're with allies and we're not.
Okay.
Like,
So, to your knowledge, you're at a point between Angner and Lee County, which, by all accounts, should be, in the domain basically of the Borderlands, and under the same kind of political alliance, not held by the Empire. The Empire has not, as of yet, moved this far north. They have not moved as far as Angner or the lake. So you don't know if these two, who they're affiliated with, but certainly by your location, the people who properly man this bridge should be affiliated with Angner and Lee County.
Those who are supposed to deliver the lady Katerina to Lady Carmina. So
yes.
So
who is closest to me?
Well, you're in the center because you guys were going to go get on the bridge.
Okay.
So
I just want to say to no one in particular.
Hans on the right.
Yeah. I just want to say to no one in particular in our group, I think the allies are either dead or captured inside that shack.
Okay, that's your round. All right.
Yeah, that's good.
Bivoj, what are you doing?
Let me know if this is a stretch, but would it be possible to ride the horse with the what do I have with the spear right through one of those, spear them, and ride away, so I can maybe dismount and shoot from the bow next turn?
You're saying ride past them, so ride onto the bridge and throw your spear at one of them as you're passing? Yes, that is possible. So it would be easiest. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Right-handed.
Okay, so then throwing it at Hans would be the clear choice. So as you ride past the shack, you throw your spear. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
That's +3. That's 19.
That is definitely a hit.
And 6 damage.
Ooh. All right. He is wounded.
As I pass him when I throw the spear, not this again.
You are now riding onto the bridge. You've passed him. You hear Claude, Oldrad, and Leonard yelling up towards you guys, because remember they're like 30 feet back because they were going to stop at the cottage. Is everything okay? Do you need help?
Yes. I need help.
All right, they start running over. Bane.
Can I tell the status of Hans? Is he down, or is he just wounded?
You saw Bivoj ride past and throw a spear. You heard another like, ugh, but you can't see him because he's behind the shack.
Okay, I'm going to, I'm still dismounted. I'm going to walk my horse over to the shack and tie him up and see if I can ascertain his status.
Okay. You're doing that. That's gonna kind of get you to the shack. You kind of peek around the shack and you see Hans is definitely not dead, and he's pulling the spear out of his shoulder. Liber.
I'm gonna go Anna again. Want to keep her off guard? Would I? 19.
Oh, that is a hit. Roll damage.
Haven't got to do this yet. 5.
Ooh, nice.
There we go.
She yells out in pain, "Son of a bitch!" This brings us to Sarah.
How far away do I think she is?
From you?
Yeah.
Like 15 feet away.
Okay. I'm gonna draw my sword and rush her.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll. So you run up and you kind of come around. She's got her bow out, so you kind of like charge her.
Yeah, I want to get underneath that bow. Okay, so that's that. Okay, here we go. 19?
Yes, that is a hit.
Is it too late to say pull my, non-lethal?
You could hit her with the blunt of the sword. So just go ahead and roll damage, and we'll consider it as an attempt for subdual.
Okay. Okay. 3.
Okay. You kind of crack her with the blunt of the sword, and she yelps out again in pain.
Do I have another? Can I have another action?
No.
Okay.
Like you basically ditched your horse, pulled your sword, ran over, and made an attack. Bivoj, you are now on the bridge. Looking back in the moonlight, you see Bane kind of coming around the corner towards Hans. And you see Hans kind of like his back up against the back of the shack, trying to pull the spear out. What do you do?
It's not your lucky day. I try to shoot Hans.
Okay, so you pull your bow, fire an arrow, go ahead and roll.
That's... what's the bonus? That's 22.
Okay, roll damage.
4.
Ooh. Bane, as you were looking at Hans as he's trying to pull the spear out, you see an arrow hit him in the other shoulder, and he's like, oh. And he's just leaning up against the shack. He looks very weak.
Okay. So with Bivoj's spear. Oh,
one moment. I have to make a roll.
It's about to get medieval.
I have to make a roll for Anna. Make a strength roll under Sarah.
Nah. I did it! 5 of 6.
Wow.
Oh my God.
All right. Basically, what happened is Anna basically hooked your arm and tried to like disarm you, and you kind of resisted and shoved her back. Okay, Bane.
Okay. Does Hans have any weapons within reach?
Yeah, he has a sword on his belt that he can't reach because he has a spear in one shoulder and an arrow in the other.
Okay, so nothing like on the ground near him where
he has 2 arrows in him, doesn't he?
Right.
So
an arrow and maybe 2 arrows and a spear. So
yeah.
I'm going to grab Bivoj's spear by the long hand, and I'd like to house out. I'd like to pick his ass up and put him up against the shed.
All right, make a strength roll under.
Got it. 9 under 18 or whatever it is.
Okay, you do. And he yelps in pain. He's like, and you have him braced with the spear up against
and
him.
I know now that I'm face to face with him that this is in fact Hans.
It is definitely Hans. He looks dirty and like sweaty and unshaven, like as if you don't.
He has not been having a good life since last we met.
Like since last you guys saw him, like it has been rough.
So I'm gonna
in clothes, like they're It is all.
First of all, Hans, you stink to high heaven.
He does. No, actually, you're borderline.
Was I wrong to let you live at our last encounter?
No.
So what good are you to me? What information can you provide to me?
I'll tell you. Smash cut. Liber. Your reinforcements have arrived. Claude, Leonard, and Oldrad, all with weapons, are right behind you, and they're like looking back and forth, like where? What's going on? Who? You're muted.
I just point at Sarah and
Bane.
and Bane, yeah, so everyone can see them.
Okay. Leonard and Claude run over towards Sarah. Oldrad runs over towards Bane. What do you do?
I'm heading towards Sarah too. I'm gonna drop my bow and pull out my rapier.
Okay. You get over there. You see that Anna is wounded, and she is kind of backed away. Her longbow is in her hand, though she doesn't have it drawn. It's almost like she's using it to swat away any potential attacks from Sarah. Make a wisdom roll under.
$14 under 18.
You see that she is like 3 feet away from the edge of the river, the drop off. Now at this height, it's not that far of a fall. It's like 10 feet of a fall into the river. But she's basically backed up, and the only place she has to go would be into the river.
I'm just gonna lunge at her a little bit. Not really gonna swipe, but I'm just gonna lunge at her just to make her backstep a bit.
Okay, go ahead and make a. You know what? This would be a good opportunity for a charisma roll under.
Is this
You're
an
basically
intimidation by the
fainting.
priest?
You're like fainting that you're going to attack her. Let's see if she takes your bluff.
12.
Oh, you have a decent.
I'm over.
charisma. All right. She holds her ground. This brings us to Sarah. Your reinforcements have arrived.
I'm
So basically, you guys have her kind of in a semicircle, and her back is up to the river.
I'm sheathing my sword real quick and getting my rope into a lasso.
Okay.
I think that's all I can do.
All right. Leonard just has his crossbow aimed at her, and Claude has his sword ready.
She's gonna jump, I say.
Bivoj, you see that Bane clearly has the Hans situation under control, using your spear as leverage to keep him pinned. What do you do? Muted.
Do I see the woman from the bridge?
Not from where you are, like the support. If you rode your horse back off the bridge, you would see the group. You see the other guys like surrounding her.
Yeah, I wouldn't be possibly able to shoot.
Oh, you could if you go to the northern edge of the bridge, you'd be able to see her.
Okay, one more question.
Yeah.
Can I shoot the bow as a non-lethal?
Not really.
Like maybe a leg or something.
Yeah, you could.
Okay. I'll do that.
I mean, that would if you wanted to do a call check. So just do a -2 to your roll.
I think we had -5, so I'll count -5.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Something I have to share again.
Oh no!
Nat 20 and 6 on the damage dice.
Okay. Basically, you shoot her in her leg. She drops to one knee, screams out in pain. Ah, you bastards!
There are some promises that I gave you, and I'm going to oblige. I pull out my knife, and I'm coming to her to cut her Achilles tendons.
Okay. She is dropped. She's basically on all fours at this point. She's dropped her bow. Oldrad comes over to you, Bane, and he looks at you, and he looks at Hans, and he says, "So do you think we're going to get some questions answered now?"
Indeed.
All right.
Tell me.
So at this point, I would say we're out of initiative order because you have basically incapacitated both of your enemies. You guys
She's
like
big.
there's
She's
a
being
lantern.
tied up.
Yeah, you tie her up. You could tie both of them up at this point. You have them outnumbered. They have no weapons. There's a lantern hanging from a hook outside of the gatehouse. Leonard lights that, so you guys have some light. And you have them tied up. They're both sitting there. Without any medical intervention, they'll probably die by the morning, but you feel like they can live for a few hours. And you see Hans is, a bit more wounded than Anna. You do, however, know that you have to at least apply a bandage or a tourniquet to Anna's leg, otherwise she'll bleed out. So I would assume, Liber, that you would take care of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have them
Probably
tied
do
up.
both legs.
Hans is just kind of just has this defeated look on his face, but yet part of it is almost like relief. Like, you see he just looks exhausted and just dirty and greasy and sweaty and unshaven. And frankly, Anna doesn't look much better. Like, she is just a mess. There's like leaves and twigs in her hair. It looks like they've been probably sleeping on the ground. And just a mess.
I want to check the shack and the guardhouse real quick.
Okay. You do. And I'll say that, like, Claude goes with you. When you go, there's no one in the shack. When you go to the cottage, you see that the door is unlocked. And when you open it up and you guys look around, you find that the guard is actually tied up and gagged. He's very relieved when you untie him. He tells you that, these two people came in the middle of the night, woke him up, tied him up and gagged him.
May we ride across your bridge to intercept some other outlaws?
Well, yes, of course. But if there's any real threats, you should probably, someone should notify Inger. There won't be a changing of the guard until morning.
Yep.
Our friends can do it.
I want to go. I want to get back on my horse and turn toward the bridge. Bane, you coming?
Yes.
I thought you guys
momentarily.
were going to Okay, so back to the interrogation.
Yes.
Bane, Liber, Bivoj, Oldrad, you were all there. Anna
I
and
ask-
Hans are looking at you, just exhausted, wounded.
I ask Liber to tend to Hans's wounds as well. Could you please dress his wounds so he can last a little bit longer?
I start tending their wounds.
You notice that they seem relieved, at the very least, though still very wounded. Anna's like, she speaks first. She says, "All right, well, you got us deads to rights, so what do you want to know?"
Well, simply, of course, is your intention here to cut off the vessel with Katarina and them that are coming down the river?
Cut off? No. We was here to make sure they could pass through uneventfully. We didn't think you all would be the ones coming along, though.
Who were you expecting?
Guards from Lee Castle.
I need a better understanding of what the mission is. What is your purpose?
She says, "Well, like we told you before. Unless..." And she looks at Hans, and Hans just shakes his head, and he says, "Just tell them. The priest will make sure they don't kill us."
I nod.
I'm going across the bridge. I'm not going to wait for this.
Okay.
And I'm lighting a torch.
All right, you start going. You're on horseback, I assume.
Yeah, I'm not going to push my horse, just fast enough to get there.
All right. Anna looks to you, Liber, and she says, "Swear on the one true God that none of your group will kill us, that you'll let us go if I tell you the real truth." She says,
I look at Bane and Bivoj.
She says, "Especially that one. He's crazy." She looks at Bivoj.
Don't worry, I won't kill them. I won't. I promise. I promise on your god and my gods and every other god there is that I won't kill them.
She says, "All right. Well, part of what we told you was true, but not all of it. I mean, we are mercenaries, but we were hired by the Empire to escort Katarina. She's on some kind of mission. She's what you might call an intelligence officer for the Empire. She's a spy of sorts. She's real good at getting into places and getting out of places and finding out information. That's why we was headed up north."
Do we find her to be truthful with us?
Go ahead and make wisdom roll honors.
Even.
1.
Liber, you sense that this might be the true story. She says, "The story we told y'all before was one that Katarina fabricated in case we ever had any kind of issues, so that we all had the same story. Truth is, though, that when we heard about Steiner and we heard about you all and started to figure things out about you, Katarina came up with a new plan. She figured it might work out better if she went with y'all up to Lee Castle. Might give her a little more credibility. And that's where she came up with the whole kidnapping thing. Tied herself up real good and gagged herself. So that if the ambush against you guys didn't go well, she'd still have a means of going up there with you. Now, you might be wondering why she was going up to Lee Castle. Well, didn't have to do nothing with trying to get any kind of commission on some jewelry. Had to do with something she had to acquire. Now, that part, and I'm telling you the truth before the one true God, I don't know what it was that she was supposed to acquire. I just know that it was somewhere in Lee Castle, and she had to get it.
Did you ever see her with a candlestick that seemed odd to you?
Nope. I don't know her real personally. You must understand, because what I said was truth. See, me and Hans and Franz, we're mercenaries. Most often, we work for the highest bidder, but in this case, it happened to be that the highest bidder was the Empire.
What are they paying you?
50 gold pieces each.
Give me a moment.
She says, now, it is true what Katarina said about her family. She does come from a family of jewelers, and they are well off. But her family is very well affiliated with the Empire. And I think she started working for the Empire in that sort of capacity as a spy a number of years ago. Now, as to the lady that we were supposed to meet in town at the inn, that part's true too. I don't know her name. Katarina did, but she never told us on purpose, so that we couldn't tell nobody else. But I know that that lady is supposed to have some ring with the letter N on it. And I don't know what she had to do with things, but my guess is that whoever that lady was must be affiliated with the Empire too.
I'm gonna look at Bane and Bivoj. I think we should catch up to Sarah. I think that ship is what we need to find.
I agree. But I think that we should retain these two for future use.
Leave them with the
worry.
guard.
I don't mean
No.
retain them as in keep them with us. I mean pay them
Oh.
as mercenaries to provide information to us along the way. And they still have the guise of being on the side of Katarina, and I can't think of everyone else's name.
I put my hand on the shoulder of Bane, and Bane, I gave them a promise. And you know that promises are to be kept. And I pull out my dagger. I won't kill them. Trust me, I'm a very skillful hunter. I know that right above the hill there are no major arteries. And I drop to the squad to Anna.
I try to stop Bivoj before he does what he's about to do.
Okay. Bivoj, the priest comes closer to you. You see that both Anna and Hans are very nervous looking.
This is the kind of thing that comes back to you. This isn't what you want to do.
Well, no matter their intentions, they all work for hire. They are not here because they want to be here.
Anna says, "Are you saying you'd pay us more than they were willing to pay us? Because if that's the case, you got yourself a deal."
Now this is 2 times that we've let you live. There will not be a third.
She says, "My loyalty can be bought. That's the nature of my game."
That's what I'm counting on. We could use them as spies, and I think it would be beneficial to us.
She says, "Listen, I gotta tell you, if we show up with you all, there's no way Katarina's gonna believe that we somehow got the jump on all of you. I mean, look at us. It's pretty clear who got their asses kicked in this here fight."
I
Agreed.
look on Bane and Liber, and I look on those two on the ground. Yeah, you're right, but I still need a trophy. And I pull their hair, and I just cut 2 bunches of their hair and stuck it into my backpack.
Okay.
You
Let
might
me
be a
have that-
serial killer, my friend.
There's
You
a little
might be
there's a
serial
little
killer.
there's a little pain involved in that action.
Well, I've killed
so-
people for money, so yeah, don't worry about it.
I'll relay to them, not the plan, of course, but to let them know that our plan is to evacuate the bridge area and try to intercept the boat. So it could appear as if we never even crossed paths. We could have found a different way across the river.
She says, "I understand what you're saying. And as I said before, we'll work for the highest bidder, but I don't know what we could do for y'all at this point. I mean, if she already got what she was supposed to get, which I know she did, because she sent word to us to head to this here bridge and hold it off in case there's any militia folks coming, then whatever she got must be, headed this way. And I don't know how y'all are gonna stop a boat from passing through the bridge unless y'all, manage to get on board." And she says, "But I don't know what kind of help we could be.
Don't worry, we've killed
I
most
will
of the
make an
people.
oath. I will make an oath if it helps that y'all don't have to pay us and you don't have anything to worry about with us, because I'm done with this job and so is Hans. All this fuss and we ain't gotten paid, and there's no way we're going to get paid no matter what we do at this point.
You haven't been paid from your initial hiring.
Just the half up front. We didn't complete the job, and now there's no point to it, because she'll either run into you all, or she'll make it all the way back to Southport.
What's
Either way,
awaiting
she
there,
did it without
Southport?
us.
Do you know
what's-
what's awaiting them at Southport?
Well, I mean, the Empire. Whatever she had to go get from Lee Castle, it's got to get back to Southport for some reason. I don't know what it is, but that's what she does.
I almost feel
Acquires
like we should let her,
information and things.
in order to see this thing unravel, we might have to let her complete her mission. If we intercept her before she reaches Southport, and she is not able to hand over the goods, as it were, then we'll never know the grand plan.
And it may kill us all as well. Yeah, let's not go that far.
Let's not be too hasty.
I just stand up from the prisoners, and I stand with my back to Liber and Bane. You know, Father, you've saved 2 souls from the life of the crawling down on the ground with the worms. And I don't agree. Bane, your god wouldn't want this outcome, but it was your choice, and I stand behind you.
It would be wise not to bring my gods into this.
Oldrad says, I say we leave them tied up, tie him to a post outside of the guard shack, and let the militia deal with them.
I agree.
Okay, let's go.
Sarah.
I imagine when we dressed the wound, Bivoj already got his spear back. I was going to give it back to him, but he's probably already retained it.
Leonard and Claude offer to stay just to make sure that they don't get away.
Fair enough.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so the rest of you, including Oldrad, get on your horses and start to cross the bridge. Smash cut to Sarah. So, Sarah, you're about 15 minutes ride ahead of the rest of the group. You get across the bridge, and it's an open area of land, and you see, tracks from carts and hoof prints and stuff that seem to lead east, which you surmise is kind of towards where the lumber and the whole timber industry kind of stuff is, but you don't see any settlement or signs of people around. And bear in mind, it's like the middle of the night. If you want to head back upriver, you would be heading north.
And I'm gonna go at a
open ground. There's no road. It's just dirt and patches of grass and trees.
And I'm just going at a trot, very easy.
All right. So
I've got a torch.
You're moving along okay. You could see the river on your left now. And you're making your way up north.
Yeah, I'm mostly looking at the side of it's at least 10-12 miles. So I'll just keep going.
Okay.
But I'm going to keep a watch out. There are beasts around, probably.
Okay.
And wild men, and God knows what else.
The others of you, are you riding at a faster pace to try to catch up with Sarah?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to assume somebody has a torch or something. It doesn't provide a ton of light because as you're riding fast, it kind of blows, but you have some additional light. So you guys, after, maybe a half an hour, you kind of catch up to Sarah. Sarah, you hear the sounds of people on horseback approaching. You look back, you see 4 of your comrades riding up, Liber, Bivoj, Bane, and Oldrad. You guys catch up to Sarah. You continue making your way up north along the banks.
Do they tell me what they learned?
Do you?
We do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I haven't seen anything. No beasts about.
Gauging on from where we were when we last were in contact with the vessel, when we went around the bridge, can we gauge about how far back we may have been? How far we are from the point in which we last saw them on the river?
10 to 12 miles.
Okay.
Not kind of distance.
And they probably split that distance, possibly. So we'll...
Well, that's what you're not sure of. So you travel 5 miles and you still don't see their boat. And you're thinking that in the time that it took for you to ride south and to deal with Anna and Hans and to ride up north, that by now, if their boat was functioning, that you would have seen it. So I'm assuming you continue to ride?
Continue to ride.
Yeah, I want to become a little bit more stealthy at this point because we don't know if right around the next bend there might be someone standing there. So okay. I would like to approach the next 5 miles cautiously, more cautiously, rather, and just be scanning the shoreline for any signs of wreckage, any signs of that vessel.
And let's keep a smell out for anything burned too.
Okay. Everybody make a wisdom roll under.
My favorite roll.
I'm gonna roll. Hey, mine too.
Yes.
Got another one.
When you roll an 11 and it's still not low enough, that's a problem.
I rolled 2, so it's 4 under.
Okay.
I've got a 5 out of 6. Yay.
Okay. So, as you guys are riding, you've slowed down to kind of a trot. You're being more wary. You don't see any sign of the boat, but as you're traveling, you see, there's a lot of forest on your right to the east, and the river's on your left to the west. And the first thing that hits you is not a sound, but a smell. And I want you to imagine, when you go to the zoo, how sometimes there's animals that have a really ripe kind of make your eyes water kind of smell. That's the smell that you get. And then you hear branches moving to the east. You kind of are looking through your torchlight. Does anyone do anything?
I grab the head of my axe and pull it forward.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pulling out my bow, and I also say, "Order."
Is there any place for us to take cover?
You could take cover in the trees, but that's where the sound is coming from. Or there's the river. You're kind of between those two places.
I have an idea. Let's leave our horses on the shore for bait and gather in the river and wait for something to clear the tree line.
I don't have a better idea.
Is that what you guys?
We're kind of out here, and we're kind of out in the open, so I don't know if anything else would even. We could try to race off, but that's not going to do us any good.
Roll a d6. Everyone.
Everyone?
Yep.
1.
2.
Yeah, me as well. 1.
5.
I forgot to roll for Oldrad. Nope. Okay, Sarah. As Bane is approaching the shoreline and the hooves of his horse go into the shallow, you hear a crashing sound come through the forest edge, through the tree line, and you see a 7-foot-tall, hulking, furred figure with gray kind of mottled fur, fangs, and huge claws jumping out at you. You may
not again.
You may attack, and then it attacks.
Okay. I said I had my bow out. Let's see what this does.
You know, you could have said it was too late to have a plan. It was right on the cusp of coming through. I would have just been prepared to fight.
Well, you have your
18.
Okay, 18 is a hit. Roll damage.
Okay. Let's see what happens here. 5.
5 it is.
And then I'm riding toward the river.
Okay. It is going to lunge out at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At Oldrad. One swipe of its claws miss. Wow. It swipes its claws out at Oldrad and misses in both cases. The claws rake across Oldrad's armor, and you hear like this scratching, like fingernails on a chalkboard kind of scratching sound. Oldrad swings back furiously with his weapon, missing. This brings us to Bane.
Can we tell?
Wait, I'm sorry. Who rolled a 2? Okay, Liber.
Am I close enough to reach Bivoj?
Yes.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and cure light wounds. I'm gonna say a prayer to the one true God to heal Bivoj.
Before you roll the healing power of that, roll percentile dice.
Uh-oh.
58.
Let's see what your
Reverse cure wounds.
36
It was nice knowing you.
and 8. What did you say you rolled?
58, 58.
Okay, it works. Go ahead and roll the healing powers.
What was that? I'm trying to remember. There's a 1d6, right?
Bane, you're on deck.
5.
Can we tell by looking at this creature if we've seen its kind before?
You believe that you have. This is a mountainous yeti kind of creature.
Jeez, dude. We have a pact with these guys, don't we?
What was the healing power of that?
I got 5, so it's 1d6, so 5 plus my level should be 4, so that's 9, I think, right?
Okay, so Bivoj, what are you up to now?
With 9 HP, I'm at 21.
Okay, duly noted. Bane, this thing is huge. Looks like it's trying to tear Oldrad off of his horse. And what do you do?
Am I close enough to say something and strike if the words don't work?
You could be. I mean, basically you have a choice. Like, you could turn your horse and ride over towards Oldrad and swing your axe. You could jump off your horse, run over, and go on foot to attack.
I'll take my horse. I'll swing at him. I'm not trying to I'm just trying to get him away from Oldrad. I'm not trying to actually hurt the creature at this point.
Okay.
With my great axe, it's a dirty 20.
It's a hit. Roll damage.
That's a 6.
Okay. All right. Bivoj, you have just been healed through the healing powers of the one true God.
How far am I?
You're like 15 feet away. You guys are all kind of pretty close.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I'll try to throw my spear.
Okay. You kind of turn your horse.
Yeah,
grab
to
your
free...
spear, throw it.
To free my hands. So... That's 15.
That is a hit. Roll damage.
And 4 damage.
4 more. Duly noted. Okay, it attacks twice. This time, hitting both times. I'm going to make a strength roll for Oldrad. And Oldrad is strong enough to not get knocked off his horse. However, his horse takes 13 damage. The beast attacks, ripping at Oldrad's horse. The horse rears up. Oldrad holds on. He's going to try to swing. Misses. Sarah.
Okay, I'm gonna dismount, leave my horse by the shore, and find some cover where I can set up my shots. Probably to the sides, so I'm not firing into whatever melee is happening.
Okay, that's your
Might take a while, but
that's your turn.
yeah.
All right. Liber.
I am going to try to attack my rapier.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. 12.
That does not hit. You lunge out at it, and it kind of moves just, you kind of tear into some of its fur, and your rapier has like just a chunk of fur on it. Bane.
Do I notice anything different, like strange about the creature? Like, are his eyes focused, or does he seem wild? Does he seem under any
Seems
control?
like
Does he seem intelligent?
Seems like a wild animal, almost.
Okay, I'll attack again. Natural 20 plus 7.
All right, roll your damage.
So do I get the full 8 plus whatever I roll?
Yes.
So 14.
Ooh, big hit. The creature screeches in pain, roaring almost. Bivoj. Muted.
I'll try to shoot it with my bow.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, that's nice. 27?
Yes.
Yeah, 27. 5.
Okay. It is just getting pelted from all sides. It attacks twice. It misses Bane, and it misses Oldrad. All right, Oldrad swings. Miss. God, I'm rolled terrible. Back to you, sir.
Doesn't he have like some crazy awesome plus millions? Like,
yeah, but I rolled a
sword?
2.
Jeez, dude.
Okay, do I have adequate cover where I can take clean shots?
Yeah.
Okay. Leveling my bow.
Just let me know if you roll a natural 1.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. 10.
Miss. The arrow flies just past the great beast.
Another arrow gone. Damn it.
Liber.
Okay. Can I touch the beast without killing myself?
You could definitely get into touch range. Yes. Can it possibly attack you after that? Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go for it and try to do a reverse cure light wounds.
Okay. Do it.
All right. So I run up, I get a hand on it, and I pray for this thing to be hurt as much as possible.
Okay. Roll the damage.
Three. It works the same way, plus level, right? So 7.
Okay. Now I need you to roll me percentile again.
All right. 47.
Clear the god.
47. Okay. Make a wisdom roll under.
17, so 1 under.
Okay. It does the damage. The beast cries out in pain. And this brings us to Bane.
Are you going to tell us what the wisdom was for?
No.
Damn. Okay. Okay, so what am I witnessing happening to the beast as it's taking this reverse wound thing?
It cries out in pain as it had with every other physical attack that has affected it. Like you literally saw him just walk up and like he's like muttering something under his breath. He touched the beast's fur and the beast like recoiled as if it burned.
Does the creature appear to be becoming more docile, or is it still savage and trying to kill us all?
Savage and aggressive, although very.
All right. I'll attack again with my battle axe.
Okay.
That is a 22.
Hit.
And 2 on the damage.
All right, Bivoj.
I shoot it again.
Okay.
Alrighty, that's 25 to hit.
Yes. Damage.
1.
Okay. It screeches out in pain and starts to turn, and it starts running back full speed towards the forest. Anyone with ranged weapons, well, if anyone wants to pursue it into the forest, you could try. The forest is pretty dense and it's very dark. Or if anyone with ranged attacks wants to take a pot shot at it as it's running away, you can take 1 shot.
Okay.
Sarah.
18.
Hit. Roll damage.
Okay, here we go. 1.
Okay. Anybody else who wants to take a ranged attack?
I'm just going to yell it not to come back.
I feel like it wouldn't be feasible for me to drop my axe and pull out my longbow in time.
Correct.
So, okay, I'll let it run.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, Bivoj.
That's 26.
That's a hit. What's the
and
damage?
6 damage.
Oh. All right. As it's almost to the tree line, you see it with its huge claws like going to climb a tree to like ascend into the canopy. Bivoj's arrow hits it in the back, and you hear it yelp in pain and then fall. And this huge crash of 300 pounds of fur slams to the ground. And it stops moving.
I'd like to go take a fang for trophy.
Okay.
See? Those 1 points of damage are very important.
Bivoj, you've never killed a beast. Well, I mean, in your youth, you don't remember ever killing a beast of this size. But make a roll.
Now I finished too.
Yeah, make me a roll under.
Roll under for
Intelligence.
Okay, that's 6 intelligence. But yeah, that's 2 under. I rolled 4.
Okay. You have this flash in your mind. You have this memory of your father, like when you were young, taking you out on a hunt, and you were sitting around a campfire, and he was telling you stories about folklore. And in this memory that you have, you remember your father telling you stories about these great furry beasts who were not completely animals. They were somewhat sentient. They were considered among the low people, but distinctly their own species. And you remember him calling them the Vadalat. And you think that what you just killed might be one of these Vadalat.
I convey this to my peers.
You are not sure if its pelt is worth anything. But you feel that if you were to try to skin it and salvage the pelt, it would probably take you like an hour because this thing is so huge. Also, the pelt has just been completely shredded by multiple attacks from weapons. So
And it's not worth it.
okay, so Bane, you said you wanted to take a fang for a trophy.
Correct.
Okay, you go over and carve out a fang.
As it fell down the tree, is it possible to recover the arrows or not?
I'm gonna say no. So you are probably running low on arrows, all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you've been burning through them. So here's another important thing. Oldrad's horse is wounded, like severely. Like it will not be able to make the trip upriver. Oldrad tells you that he's going to go back to the bridge. He's going to walk and lead his horse back to the bridge.
Are you okay, Oldrad?
He is, but you sense that Oldrad's a bit saddened by the state of his horse.
Is it gonna die though, or is it just injured?
It will die unless attended to.
We take a minute, can I take a minute and attend to it? Like not necessarily give it a spell, but just attend to help him attend to the horse.
You can. In fact,
Does anyone have any healing abilities?
Oldrad
that would work on a horse?
says, just give me a few moments with my horse. And he kind of leads the horse a little bit away from you guys, like as Bane is harvesting the fang.
How big would you say a fang is? Like a small dagger?
No.
Smaller?
Like a 4-inch. It's decent size, but it's not dagger size.
Something that would make a cool necklace,
Yes,
basically?
for sure.
Okay.
About 1 minute later, Oldrad returns, and there's a blanket over the horse's flank, the side where the claws raked across the horse. There's a blanket over it. He says, I think the horse will be okay. We should continue.
So are you going back to the bridge?
No, I'll go with you. The horse will be fine. It's more important that we find this boat.
Okay.
Agreed.
Can I take a minute just to look around, just see if there's anything unusual, listen to the smell, and
the Vadalat reeks.
Okay.
Reeks. So
right, let's go.
Is that what we were smelling earlier?
yes.
Same scent? Okay.
Yes. You guys continue traveling upriver. Miles
Hey, Bill,
by.
met a moment about the Vadalat. Is it do we know about these creatures in myth or in practice? Do we know if they travel in packs? Do we know if they live in herds or whatever the hell they would be in, or if they just fly solo?
Your knowledge of these particular low people is not as extensive. They're not as common as Ordur, for example, or the little Patkani, like the rat people, or the
thieves,
or the mongrel
the little
folk.
thieves,
right? or the mutts, which are the mongrel folk. They tend to be more solitary. They tend to be only found kind of in forests and mountains with trees. They're basically like forest dwellers.
Okay.
So they're not as commonly found. You don't know if they're solitary or if they, live in packs or any sort of communal setting. That part you don't really know.
And can we tell by the size of the beast if it's full grown or if it's
Yeah, you feel like
adolescent?
that's accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have nothing further.
Okay. So you guys continue to ride forward. And again, middle of the night. As you are traveling, the smell of burning, like campfire smell, like you smell that smoky smell up ahead. Like you're
I'm gonna quicken the pace of my horse.
Okay, as fast as you could safely travel in the dark, not on a road, because you're basically just traveling through like dirt.
I have a torch.
You up ahead through the silhouette on the east bank of the river, which you're on, you see the longboat, and it looks, there's no active fire, but you also don't see a mast or a sail. Like it's just smoking, and it kind of looks not capsized, but it kind of looks like it grounded out in the shallows. You see that about 100 feet up from where you're at.
I'm gonna rein in and take a look around.
Okay. It's clear and open ground along the bank of the river for the next 100 feet up to where the boat is. To your east is woods. So not all that different from when you encountered the Vadalon.
Okay, I'll wait for the rest of them to catch up, and then I suggest we move slowly, take note of the ground. Maybe
just on tracks there.
Well, I'm gonna get off my horse and move
Okay.
slowly up, leading my horse and kind of looking at the ground.
All right.
Would it be
Liber-
common knowledge in this part of the area that there's no way they would continue the journey on foot? Or would there be a feasible path for them to take on foot? If they didn't want to stay with the vessel because they know that they're just sitting there, waiting for whoever that shot them down to come around.
Right. So couple options. They could have gone south, at which point they would have run into you. They could have gone back north, upriver, but that would have taken them back in the direction that they were going away from, or they could have gone east into the woods, which would be treacherous because there's really no civilization on this bank of the river, and it is known to be dangerous. Like there are low people who dwell in these areas.
There's
So
another
not a lot of
possibility.
great options. Yes,
There's another
there's
possibility.
They could have used the skiff, which you can't see because the side of the boat that is turned to you is the port side. So if you approach the boat, you'll be able to get more information.
I want to quietly head towards the tree line, though, just kind of scout out the area.
Okay. Anybody scouting, make wisdom roll unders.
Oh gosh, that will be bad.
And I'm going to assume that you guys have torches at this point.
I'm all under. I'm
Hey,
six.
finally got a wisdom. 3 under.
Okay.
I got net one.
Okay. Liber.
6. Well under.
Okay. Sarah.
I didn't roll. I'm looking for footprints on the ground, so I guess I should roll.
Yeah.
Okay, here we
As
go.
you guys approach with torches lit, you all find a variety of interesting things, except for Sarah. You guys basically pull up, and you see that it is clear that some people left the boat. So the boat is about 20 feet out from the shoreline, just like grounded out in the shallows, kind of rocking back and forth. You see that the skiff is not on the starboard side, so it you don't know if it was ever there because you actually never saw that side, but it's not there. There's no skiff on the starboard side, but it does look like there are tracks in the mud that emerged from the water, giving you the impression that some number of people left the boat and came to shore. As you follow those tracks, they kind of mill around in that, vicinity of where they came to shore. It doesn't look like anyone stayed there for a long time, and then you see a set of tracks heading east into the forest.
Is there rigging on the longboat that would suggest that there was a skiff there?
Yes. Now, does anyone swim out to the longboat?
I want to.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go.
Okay. The two of you swim out to the longboat. You pull yourselves aboard. You see 4 of the crewmen who were shot with arrows and are dead.
Can we retrieve any of those arrows?
No. You also see slumped down against the wall that leads up to the upper deck where the helm is, you see Katerina. And you see she is quite dead.
Do you have a pack on her?
Yes.
I'm going to go through that pack.
Okay. It basically looks like her personal belongings. There's like a set of clothes. There's a map of the lands. A pouch with 50 silver pieces. And nothing else.
Any markings in the map?
Yes. Lee Castle is circled.
And that's all in a backpack or something?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take all that.
I'm going to say a quick prayer for the dead.
Okay. Do you get to search the rest of the boat?
I'm going to just how can I say this? I'm going to check her arms for markings. I'm going to check her legs for markings. Any kind of tattoo, anything like that.
While you're checking her, you notice that she has a necklace and a pendant with the symbol of the one true God.
Hey, Liber, you want this?
I take it, and I seem surprised at that. But while she was checking, I was also looking around the boat myself just to see if I found anything of interest, like just a cursory check.
It looks like this boat was not packed for a long journey. Like, it looks like it was packed to move quickly. There's nothing in the cargo hold. Not that the cargo hold is of significant size. It is very empty. There aren't even like barrels of water or food stores or anything. Like, this does not seem to you like a boat that was packed for the entire journey all the way to Southport.
They were going somewhere in between Lee Castle and Southport.
Yeah, we need a map. Oh, sorry, meta moment. They had a map, right?
Well, I'm speaking with Liber, so yeah, I don't know what's around here.
I don't know either, but let's head back and see if we can head into the woods and see if we can track anything.
Okay.
You notice that the rigging was definitely there for a skiff, but the skiff is not there. All right, you guys get back to the shore. Do you fill the others in on what you found?
Yeah.
Okay. As you follow the tracks towards the woods and away from the mud, the tracks are kind of easier to identify just before you get into the forest. And it looks like what you see is 4 decent-sized boot prints, like the size of men's boots.
Hold up. I think we should head back to the bridge. I think the crew went out, but I think I remember her name.
Karamina
headed back to the bridge.
Well, We took care of all the crew we saw. We took care of the 2 guards Karamina had and Katarina. I don't think there's any crew, but Karamina went east.
Just in case.
She might.
Do those footprints look like they were encumbered?
No, but they're all like men-sized boot prints.
Do we see any female footprints at all? She never even left the boat.
She took the
Okay,
skiff.
so you say 4 pairs or just 4 footprints?
4 pairs, as in 4 men.
Oh my god. They met someone there. They must have.
No, they all came up. There was still crew on the boat.
Yeah, there were crewmen on the boat that we didn't kill.
Oldrad looks at you, Liber, and he says, I think we should go back to the bridge.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I
definitely.
agree.
Fast as we can.
You guys turn your horses around. You ride. It takes a while, because again, you go back about 12 miles. You get to the bridge. You start crossing the bridge. You see light at the other side of the bridge. You see like 2 lanterns, like the one hanging on the hook outside of the guard shack, and then you see another one, and you see that the bridge keeper is holding the other one. And standing next to the bridge keeper, you see Leonard, who has his crossbow aimed. You see Claude, who's holding a rope. You can't see what the rope is connected to, but he's holding a rope. And then you see Critter, who's like growling and like looking at whatever Claude is holding. And when you guys get to the other side of the bridge, you see that on the ground, tied up with a rope that Claude is holding, and with Leonard aiming his crossbow, you see the captured Karamina. And that is where we'll end this episode of the Lamenters, everyone. Please make sure to tune in, like, and subscribe. Thank you, as always, for all of your support. And to my patrons, I say thank you very much. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Lamenters.
Well, hello, and welcome to Blayne Allen World. I am Wizzy, the Wizard. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. Tune in to the next episode of whatever show you are just watching, and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.